Hey everybody, welcome back to Exploring Temecula. Today we're going to talk about a gated community called Laurel Creek in Temecula. Over the next few weeks, we are going to have a series of all the gated communities in Temecula. I have footage for everything. We're going to go over the HOAs. We're going to go over what's in the HOA. We're going to talk about taxes, location, everything that you as a buyer might need or want to know if you're looking for a gated community in Temecula. If you're interested in Temecula or the surrounding area, make sure you subscribe to this channel. We do a ton of video, not only on Temecula, but everything surrounding Temecula and what it has to offer. For sellers, strongly suggest that you subscribe. The market updates we do at the beginning of every month that really gives you an idea of where the market is going. So having said that, let's get into the video on Laurel Creek. Okay guys, so the first thing I wanted to do is just show you these individual communities. Sometimes there's not a lot of information online, so they're hard to find, especially the smaller ones. Here's the 15 freeway right here. If we go out, probably the easiest way to get there is just to get off on Rancho, California. And if you move in, it is right off Margarita Road. Now, what I usually do, or what I suggest that you do, is just Google Arcacia Way, one of the streets inside the community. But again, it's right off Margarita Way, and it's this small community right here, and that is Laurel Creek. A couple things just to note: you've got Temecula Elementary School right here. You've got Margarita Community Park. And I timed it. You're about 3 minutes away from grocery stores Target, Vaughn's, Home Goods. So it's this location is very convenient. It's very central to everything Temecula has to offer. Okay guys, so I know I just showed you where on the map Laurel Creek is located. Now we're just going to get into a few things that I find very convenient about the Laurel Creek community. Number one, you are near the Temecula Mall. Great for shopping, walking around. There's lots of restaurants. So, something to do on a Friday or Saturday if that's something that you're interested in. Another thing that a lot of people take advantage of that you're about 10 minutes away is the Lake Harveston 1 mile walking path around the lake. A lot of people go there, have a picnic, people fish, and walk your dogs. So that is a plus that's very close to you. Another thing, Legends Golf Course. If you are a golfer, it's probably one of the least expensive courses, especially on Twilight. You can play during the week for $35, $40, and that will be one of the best in way of how much you're going to spend on green fees. You're literally 5 minutes away from that. Next, you have Temecula Elementary School and Margarita Park, literally just down the road from you. So obviously that's convenient if you do have kids going to school in the mornings. And finally, Costco, probably a 10-minute drive. Everybody knows, Costco is a great place to shop, and we also have a gas station with really cheap gas. So all of those things, and there's a lot more, guys, that I'm not talking about. One of the things about Temecula that I love is every community is very convenient for your everyday needs, whether it's grocery stores, restaurants, shopping, things to do outside, golfing. It really doesn't matter where you live in Temecula, you're going to have those things around you. Okay, the actual Laurel Creek community. Homes are going to be anywhere from 1,400 square feet to 2,000 square feet. The community itself, in my opinion, even though the lot sizes are smaller, I do find, it feels more like a single family residence. Some of the communities that I'm going to get into later on, they are single family residents, but they feel almost more like townhomes to me. This is not necessarily the case in Laurel Creek. The HOA is going to be $100 a month. With that HOA, you get the pool, you get the barbecue area, there's a small clubhouse, you get walking past Todd lots. And one of the things that I noticed, and you have to keep in mind, many of the communities in Temecula are pretty big. So the community pools, like Harveston, for example, on the weekends, on a Saturday, Sunday, if it's nice, the pool is going to be really busy. One of the benefits with Laurel Creek being such a small community is if you do enjoy going to the pool, there's going to be a lot of days that you're going to have 1, 2, 3, maybe even by yourself at the pool. Just because there's not a lot of people inside the community. Okay, and finally, I just wanted to go into the pros and cons of Laurel Creek. Number one, very low tax rate, low special assessments in Melrose. It's around $550 a year, which is awesome. I mean, I talk about low tax rate communities in Temecula a lot. Tax rates are going to range in Temecula anywhere from 1.2 all the way up to 2%. So, Laurel Creek's going to be on the lower end of that. Okay, so next up, Laurel Creek has small lots. I guess this could be a pro or a con, but if you are the person that is busy with work and doesn't really want to deal with yard maintenance, that is obviously going to be a pro for you. Okay, next up, it is gated. I do have opinions on this in regards to it's not impossible to get into a gated community, but it does add a little bit of security, and also for the $100 a month, throughout Temecula, that would probably be around the average price for an HOA, and most of the communities are not gated. Next pro, it's going to be the middle lower end of pricing in Temecula. Home prices have risen like crazy, as everybody knows. So I would say in many of these communities, you're spending anywhere from $800 to $850 now. This is going to be much lower. I'm not going to get into prices exactly for Laurel Creek. There's a home search in the bottom. They change, continuously, so you can keep updated by just going to that home search, and it's going to update daily on anything that comes available in the Laurel Creek community. Okay, and next, simple shopping. You have Vaughn's and Target literally 3 minutes away. I timed it driving there. So obviously that center, being able to get there right after work, being able to grocery shop and do these things all within half an hour is a huge plus. We go over this a lot, and traffic can be an issue, not only in Temecula, but all throughout Southern California. So the closer things that you need daily are to you, the more time you're going to have to enjoy the beautiful weather, be at the pool. So it is very convenient in that aspect. And finally, it's a good area for a rental. It's perfect size, in my opinion, for 2 to 4 people. And if I were to choose an area for a rental, a few of the things that I would look for: low taxes, then that hits this box, and not necessarily the massive home, 3,500 square feet. For a rental, I really like the 1,500 to 2,200 square foot home, which these are. A few of the cons, I spoke about this on the pros, but they do have small lots. So if you are not wanting a small lot, Laurel Creek is really not going to work for you. Number 2, it does have an HOA. So you are going to be paying that $100 a month. Some people do not want the HOA. You're not going to be able to park your RV in the community. For instance, that's a big one, and that's a question I get all the time. Does the HOA allow RV parking? Finally, the Laurel Creek community, some of the homes do back to Margarita, so you have to be careful. There is street noise from Margarita if you're backing to it, or on the row of homes that backs to Margarita. Now, why do I bring this up? In an up market, it doesn't really matter. People, the market we're in right now, people are just trying to get into a home. But when we go into and stabilize into a, straight across market where the homes aren't really going up, they're on the market for 10, 30, in between those 10 and 30 days, or even if we go into a down market, those are going to be some of the toughest homes to sell. When you are backing to a busy street and you have a lot of car noise, people just, that's not the home that's going to be first on their list. And how it's going to be first on somebody's list is you're going to have to drop the price and make it, so the buyer actually wants that property. And the only way to do that is be a lot lower than some of the other opportunities for these buyers. Okay, so there you have it, guys. Laurel Creek, the first community of this series of gated communities in Temecula. I've got about 8 to 12 communities coming up. So hopefully subscribe and just check out some of the gated communities throughout Temecula. I like some more than others. Laurel Creek is definitely, mid to higher range of where I would live. And I personally really liked a lot about the Laurel Creek community. If you have any further questions, please reach out. We're a licensed brokerage and a licensed appraisal company here in Temecula, and we'd be glad to help whether you're buying or selling property. Thank you very much.